customers.
Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express sa service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal-certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we are very happy to be presenting to you our activity this morning together with Sister Mariam of Bacolod. By the way, I am Elenida Jess of Sibunga, Cebu. We would like to have Sister Mariam for this morning the opportunity to give us the introduction for our today's program.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Good morning, mayong aga sa taga Bacolod. I am Sister Mariam Kuder, and it is our honor to be used this program, Batas at Shariah, by Attorney Nur Hernandez. And I would like also to thank our President Ismael Abaya Murahadja, GPTV 168, and our Director Zeno Martinez and Assistant Director Carl Vinras. This show is not suitable for young children and parental guidance is advised. This topic we share based on our opinion and reading from the PD 1083 is our basis.
Yes, thank you for
that. Stay with us.
Thank you, Sister Mariam, for this introduction. I would like to inform our viewers today, especially on the reason, rationale, why we have this program. In line with the program of Sharia Counselor, Attorney Nur Hernandez, especially in this Batas at Sharia, the objective is to educate the Muslim Filipinos, particularly the Balik Islam, with regards to the Code of the Muslim Personal Laws of the Philippines, the Civil Code of the Philippines, as well as other Muslim-related laws. In today's program, I and Sister Mariam will be tackling some cases, landmark case that we would like to give an idea to the viewers we have, particularly on what provisions or article in PD 1083 that we can mention in line with the facts presented, the issues, as well as the court rulings. We hope that you would stay tuned with us for the duration of our time and you learn a lot from us, or we will also be learning with you as we go on smoothly with our program. And to start with, we would like to ask Sister Mariam on the reading of a case, which is a landmark case, and Sister Mariam will tell us the details.
Yes, we choose these details about Sabrina Arcadi Bundaji, the petitioner, and Fauzi Ali Bundaji is the husband, under the judge Bin Saudi Arabani, GR number 148, GR number 140817, dated December 7, 2001. This issue is a wife, a Christian who converted to Islam before her marriage to a Muslim man, But the wife was converted back again to the Catholicism upon her separation, still bound by moral laws of Islam and determination of her fitness to be custodian of her children. So the fact here is respondent Fauci is 31 years old and Sabrina is 20 years of age. Were married on February 3, 1988 at the Manila Hotel Ermita, Manila, under Islamic rites on December 21, 1987. But Sabrina, before they get married, Sabrina, 4 months before their marriage, Sabrina was uh, reverted to a Muslim. But this Muslim conversion, however, was not registered in Sharia Code of Muslim Personal Law of the Philippines. On their union, they begat two children, namely Abdul Aziz, born on June 13, 1989, and the second daughter is Amwaji, born on September 29, 1990. The children were born in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, sister. At the time of marriage, a non-petitioner respondent was still married to Saudi Arabian woman. But later divorced, and their marriage, the couple moved into respondent family in Makati in 1990. So the parties migrated and settled in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where they lived more than 2 years. Sometimes in December 1995, the children live in the house of Sabrina, the mother of these two children, in Tajal, a street, Ayala, Alabang. Fauci alleged, the husband alleged her wife that he could not see his children until he got under from the court. Even when the court ordered, he could only see his children in the school at De La Salle, Subel, Alabang, Muntinlupa. On December 15, Sabrina had children baptized at Christian, and their names changes to Abdul Aziz Bundaji to Aziz Santiago Artadi from Amoji Bundaji. So they changed it without the concern of the husband. So respondent alleged that on various occasions Sabrina was seen different men and all hours in Manila, and that she would wear short skirts, sleeveless blouses, and bathing suit sometimes. Such clothing distable under the Islamic law and custom. Fauci claimed that Sabrina and their children sweep their neighbors' houses for fee 40 pesos, and the children come home from school. When Fauci sees them in the school, the children will be happy to see him, but were afraid to ride in the car. Instead, they would ride in the jeepney in going home from school. Inaalaw niya yung mga anak niya to sweep o maglinis ng bahay ng kapitbahay niya to pay 40 pesos for the snacks of the children. So, sister, the question is, if Sabrina Taji has a right to have a custody for the children.
Yes, right, sister.
That is one question here.
Yes, sister. Thank you for giving our viewers gist of what happened to the case of Fauzi Bundaji and his wife Sabrina. Now, the issue here is that is a wife, a Christian who reverted to Islam before her marriage to a Muslim and reverted back to Catholicism upon their separation, still bound by the moral laws of Islam in the determination of her fitness to be the custodian of her children. Now, we are going to give you an overview of what is PD 1083. To our dear viewers who are not familiar with PD 1083, this is a decree to ordain and promulgate a code recognizing the system of Filipino Muslim laws, codifying Muslim personal laws, and providing for its administration and for other purposes. Now, we would like to ask Sister Mariam with regards to what is this article that might be used with regards to the situation of Fosi Bundaji and Sabrina, because as we know that prior to her marriage to Fosi Bundaji, she reverted to Islam. But upon their separation or divorce, she goes back or went converted to Catholicism. Could you please read article number 3, Sister Mariam, for our PD
Um,
1083, article 3?
yes, and sisters, in the court ruling to Sabrina, before I answer it with
Yes,
that
thank you for
article,
that.
the Sharia district held at PD 1083 on the custody and guardianship does not apply to this case because the spouse were not yet divorced. Hindi pa sila divorced. So, yung hinahanap ni Mr. Ali Bundaji is the custody na makuha niya yung
Yes.
anak niya from the wife because of some alleged. But the conflict on Article 3, paragraph 3, the provision of this code shall be applicable only to a Muslim, and nothing herein shall be constructed to operate to the prejudice of non-Muslim. So since that Mr. Sabrina Artadi and Bundaji and Fausti, the husband, is still married under the Islamic law, they are not married in the civil.
Yes, thank you. So by
So,
the provision
and
of
this
PD
article,
1080,
yes, and this provision, Sister Elinida, is only applicable to Muslim. Um, but since they are married naman in the Islamic law, because before Sabrina, yes, Sabrina is a Christian, but she embraced before their marriage, 4 months before their marriage, but she is already Muslim na. But the problem
mm,
is the certificate of conversion was not forwarded to Sharia. But still they bound and have a ceremony in the Muslim rites, Sister Elinida.
okay, so since they are covered also with the provisions of PD 1083, we would be tackling some of the provisions or articles of this PD 1083 to explain further, to give our viewer what rights does Sabrina has over her children since she filed this case and asking for this petition to for the custody of her children, as well as also the father, Fosi Bundaji, is also claiming his right over the custody of their children. Now, can we identify also or give our viewer the idea on this article? We have this, yeah, the application, applicability of the laws. Can you please repeat Article 13, Sister Mariam?
Yes, Article 13, application under Section 2, Paragraph 2, I mean. In case of marriage between a Muslim and non-Muslim solemnized not accordance with the Muslim law, this code, the Civil Code of the Philippines, shall apply. But as what I said, this marriage bind with the Islamic law because they married not in the civil under the rights of the Muslim law. So the the ruling of this is just the provision must be in our Islamic law.
Okay, thank you for that, Sister Mariam. So I hope this is already clear to our viewers that in Article 13, Paragraph 2, in case of marriage between a Muslim and a non-Muslim solemnized, not in accordance with Muslim law in this code, the Civil Code of the Philippines shall apply. And also, prior paragraph to that, provisions of this title shall apply to marriage and divorce wherein both parties are Muslims or within only the male party is a Muslim and the marriage is solemnized in accordance with Muslim law or this code in any part of the Philippines. Thank you for your for giving us the differentiation on this provisions from our PD 1083, Sister Mariam. Uh, we will be tackling more onto the claim of petitioner Sabrina Bundaji over the custody of her children. Um, we will be giving you some ideas, especially for PD 1083, on the provisions under the support, that is the NAFACA. If we have enough time, we will also be tackling provisions or articles under parental authority, especially in chapter 1, that is the nature and effects. And hopefully, we can discuss also the custody and the guardianship. So we'll start with the definition or using book 2 of PD 1083 on the article number 65. This will give us an idea or the definition of how support is defined. Could you please read, Sister Mariam, Article 65, support defined?
Okay, the Article 65 support defined nafaka includes everything that indispensable for sustained dwelling, clothing, and medical attendance according to the social standing of the person obliged to give it, and the educations of the person entitled to support until he complete his education, training, or vocational beyond the age of majority at least, no, it's 21. But
Okay.
the father, like example, in this case, no, the father was obliged since the father has a capacity to support for the kids because he is Fauzi Ali Bundaji is he is a businessman, so he has a
Uh-huh.
full yeah, he has a full um strong enough to support their children. And also Sabrina has a work also, and he has a capacity to sustain also the needs of their children because both of them have a good job and have a good business.
Yeah. Thank
But
you
the
for
question
that.
is, but the question is, oh, Fauzi Ali was claiming that he has capable to support all the kids and and he wants to get it from Sabrina because stated here as the allege of Mr. Bundaji, Sabrina is not a good or a role model for their children, and he removed his custom or like that. He removes the law of custom of a Muslim. So they go out at night and they wearing the short and sleeveless on the road. So that is not a good example for Muslim children
Yeah,
because they
thank
are
you
not
for this
children.
information, Sister Mariam. But before we go through this allegation of petitioner Fosi Bondaji, could we please repeat what are these enumerated support that any of them could give due to their children?
Yeah, the
Okay, for one,
sustain,
for
sustain,
example, the
the
sustenance.
sustain, dwelling, clothing, medical assistance or attendance according to the social standing and personal obliged to give it, and education for the person entitled to support until he complete his education. Hanggang matapos ang iyong anak sa pag-aaral, you are obliged to support.
Okay, thank you for this idea. Now, we would like to stress again that on this article 65 of PD 1083, that we would highlight this phrase according to the social standing of the person obliged to give it and the education of the person entitled to the support until he completes his education, training, or vocation, even beyond the age of majority. As what Sister Maria mentioned earlier, that the age of majority is 21. So there is what we call a range of this age of majority, and that is 21 to 25 years. Um, can we also give our viewers, Sister Mariam, is how much amount be given to the children? If in case any of our if the petitioner or the respondent wins over the custody over their children. Could we please read Article 66 of PD 1083?
Yes. Article 66, under the amount of support shall be proportioned to the resource of their giver and the needs of the recipient. So, for example, if you are like for Ali Bundaji, he is a businessman. He can afford to give high standard living sa mga anak niya. But since if you are not, or you cannot afford to give full, but as long as you have the rights to give and you have enough to give, this is stated, because based on that you have a, before you get into a marriage, you have a capacity to do so. So
That's
you just
right.
remember, sister, you just remember, once you are enter of this marriage, you have a responsibility not only to your
Yes.
children but to your wife also.
Yeah, that is a good point, Sister Mariam, that every one of us, especially those who are planning to get into the marriage life, they should also consider how much or their financial capacity when they get into the marriage life, right? So, for example, in this case of Fuzi Ali Bundaji and his wife, they have resource or recourse to this kind of legal battle. So both sides must have this, shall we say, obliged, they are obliged to give the support to the children. Of course, upon the rulings or whatever decision the court would give as final. And what about the payment, sister? How much is the payment, or when can, for example, or what's the obligation with regards to the payment? Can we read,
um
please, Article
yes,
69?
with regards with the payment, in the Article 69, the obligation to support shall be demandable from the time the recipients need it for the maintenance, but it shall not be paid except from the date of extrajudicially demanded. So, whether you like it or not, you are obliged to give the support for the children, Sister
Yeah.
Elinita.
There is this line here, and we would like to emphasize again that the support shall be demandable from the time the
Mhm.
recipient needs it for maintenance.
Yes.
So, our dear viewers, we are just giving you an idea on the provisions which are stipulated in under PD 1083. So, with the case of Fosi Ali Bundaji versus his wife Sabrina, it is specified, especially in our Article 69, on the payment. And what about, when can this payment be given, Sister Mariam? Should this
In
be,
the article, it will be given yung extinguishment of the support in Article 70, sister. Obligation to support shall cease upon the death of the recipient. So, for example, sister, si Mr. Bundaji namatay. So, sino magbibigay ng support sa mga anak nila? Who will be liable to
okay?
support? Eh, di ba? Kasi we are talking about the support now, and one party was already died. Yung si lalaki namatay. Who can be liable? Sino ba sisiningilin natin ng support, sister? But in this stated, no, there is a subsequent, or there will be a sub who will be liable to give the support for the children. And they stated it, yung grandparents natin, di ba? Pwede natin hinga ng support, the grandfather, yung mga tito, that is will be the what do you call, yung have a capacity na magbigay ng support sa mga anak nila.
But what about
Since
the
that,
payment, sister? What about the payment? Could this be given every day? Could this be given 4 times a year? Or what provisions would give really security to the family that is expecting from the respondent, for example? Can this be given
well,
daily?
the payment here stated in the section 2 of the paragraph, article 69, section 2,
Thank you.
the payment shall be made daily or weekly. For example, the salary, yung sahod mo every 15 and 30. So you will be declared, okay, magbibigay ako, I will give my support every 15 or at the end of the month. Made by daily, weekly, monthly in advance. And when a recipient dies, his heir shall be obliged to return what he had received in advance.
Yes. From this Article 69, with regards to the payment, in our opinion, there is really a chance or an option given to whoever would be the giver that he or she could give the payment, could be daily, weekly, or monthly, whichever is convenient for him or for her. But if in case the person dies, his heirs shall not be obliged to return what he had received in advance. And then we are going also to read this paragraph number 3 of Article 69. If the recipient is the wife, the rule stated in the foregoing paragraph shall apply even though the marriage is dissolved. So a while ago, Sister Mariam, I was reading paragraph 3 of Article 69. If the recipient is the wife, the rule established in the foregoing paragraph shall apply even though the marriage is dissolved. So there is already a continuance of the whatever is stipulated in this provision. Now, what if, Sister Mariam, um, is there any rulings from our PD 1083 by which this support can be extinguished? Of course, you have mentioned earlier that death is one of which the extinguishment of the support. Can you please mention another idea of which this extinguishment of payment happens? Can we proceed on reading Article 70 for the extinguishment of support, particularly on paragraph B and C?
Okay. In
Thank
Article
you.
70, yes, extinguish of support, the obligations to support shall cease. And the section A, upon the death of the recipient. And the B, when the resource of obligator have been so reduced that cannot give the support without neglecting his own need and those of his family, except in that case of the spouse, husband, through needy obliged to the support of the wife. And the section C, when the recipient commits any act which would give rise to disqualification to inherit the denial of the support under the Muslim law, that is act of murtada. Kusang lumayas, hindi na siya nagpapapasok ng bahay. So sasabihin ng husband, o bakit hindi naman ako, I cannot go into the house, bakit ba ako magbibigay ng support? So pwedeng hahabulin natin yan si Mr. Bakit niya tatakbuhan yung obligasyon niya? He cannot run away for his obligation. Kahit na tatakbuhan niya, the court will find her para magbigay ng support sa anak niya.
Okay, thank you for giving us the explanation for this Article 70, distinguishment of support for these 3 paragraphs. Again, we'd like to tell our viewers that we are only giving you a hint or idea what are these provisions, particular provisions that really fit into the case of Fosi Ali Bundaji, as well as his wife, Sabrina. So in this Article 70 of PD 1083, that is distinguishment of support, that means kailan ito mag-stop, when it cease. So as mentioned by Sister Mariam, upon the death of the recipient. Sino-sino ba yung recipient? Who are the recipients, Sister Mariam?
The recipient is the father or the uncles na mag-assist or the death of the husband will be the takeover of the grandparents kung buhay pa yung mga uncles niya have capacity to support for the children.
Okay, we'd like to make it clear that the recipient in this case is sino ba yung tatanggap? Sino ba yung makaka-receive? So pag wala na siya, of course, ma-stoppage na yung support from the father. In this case, for example, whoever would be given by the court the custody over the children, so mag-stop na yung, he would be not supporting anymore the, of course, because of the death of the recipient or yung tatanggap sa pera o kaya ano yung agreement that is being ruled by the court. What about the letter B or the second paragraph, sister, of Article 70? When the resources of obligor, ano ibig sabihin? What does it mean have been reduced?
Yes, sister?
Yeah, for paragraph B, it is mentioned here. We have here the statement or the paragraph which when the obligor have been so reduced, the resources of the obligor have been so reduced, and that he cannot give support without neglecting his own need and those of his family. Okay, so sometimes business is not stable. Of course, we know how business operates. If it so happened that, let's say, there is a bankruptcy of the business of Fosi Ali Bundaji, that could fit into our paragraph number 2 of this article number 70. So kung he cannot even support himself, or of course he should not also neglect his needs, and then the resource he could be using this article 70 that to for a meantime there would be the stoppage of the support. But in this article number 70, there is an exemption, and we would like to know what is this exemption. The exemption, of course, is this, that in the case of the spouses, the husband, though needy, is obliged to support the wife. So it's very clear, our dear viewers, that these exemptions specifically identify or give us an idea that in the case of the spouses, the husband, though needy, is obliged to support the wife. And these are not only the paragraphs or the provisions or the what are under article number 70. I would like also to give you I would like to read to you also this third paragraph. When the recipient commits any act which would give rise to disqualification to inherit or denial of support under Muslim law. Just like what mentioned by Sister Mariam, if you have observed or heard a while ago, she mentioned about the murtada. She mentioned about yung kusang lumayas, meaning she really decided para bang by herself na lalayas na talaga siya. And then ito, para bang nililisan na niya yung tahanan. So there would be stoppage of the support just in case this would happen to the recipient. So disqualified na rin siya. We would like to move on to this provision in our PD 1083. particularly on the parental authority. We would give our viewers on what are the nature and the effects. Might be we will be discussing a few of the articles or provisions from this chapter 1, nature and effects of parental authority. Could you please read to us, Sister Mariam, who would exercise this provision, especially for this Article 71?
Yes, in the Article 71, who exercise, but we will jump it into Article 76, Sister Elinida, parental
Okay,
authority
please
not
go.
transferable. Yes, on this book, on the PD 1083, Article 76, parental authority is non-transferable. Parental
Yes, that's
authority
good.
can neither be renounced nor transfer except as otherwise provided in this Code of General Principle of Islamic Law.
Parental authority can neither be renounced nor transferred except as otherwise provided in this code and the general principle of Islamic law. So ayon, as we mentioned earlier, that also in connection with PD 1083, the Article 70, when can this distinguish in support? Okay, what about these succeeding? Could you please read more to us, sister? Article 77.
Yes, and the extinguishment, Article 77, the extinguishment of parental authority in the Section 1, parental authority terminates upon the death of the parents of the child or upon
Emancipation.
emancipation. And the Section 2, subject to Article 78, the widow mother who contract the subsequent marriage shall be lost parental authority and custody over all children by deceased husband, unless the second husband is as related to them with prohibited degrees and consanguinity.
Okay, so in paragraph 1 of this Article 77 of PD 1083, we'd like to highlight that these words terminates upon the death of the parents or the child or upon emancipation. And we'd like also to call the attention of our viewers, especially on paragraph 2, mm, subject to Article 78, the widowed mother who contracts a subsequent marriage shall lose parental authority and custody over all children by the deceased husband unless the second husband is related to them within the prohibited degree of consanguinity. What about paragraph
Based
3?
of
Could you
this,
please proceed
and
reading?
based,
Yes.
Sir Linida, and based of the ruling of the court from this case of, Sabrina, the Sharia District Court held at PD 1083 on the custody and guardianship does not apply to this case because the spouse were not yet divorced. So hindi pa pwede for example, they cannot give it to the husband, they cannot give it to the mother, yung children, kasi they are not yet divorced. So,
Okay, so that means
so
there are
the
certain.
important is they are asking who can be capable for the custody of the children. Actually, on this case, both of them are capable to have a custody because based on the story, Sister Elinita, the husband, Mr. Ali Bundaji, on this case, is not here in the Philippines all year round. So sometimes they went to abroad for their business and minsan lang siya dito umuwi. So the custody same on the mother of the two children are capable. So they are fighting for the capacity to have the custody. But based on this of this issue, sister, talaga both of them are have a capacity to have their custody. 'Di ba? Mag-ano na lang sila, mag-share na lang sila, no? Meantime when the husband is not here, okay, the mother will take over, di ba? Para
Mm-hmm.
both of them have the have a quality time to their children. But since that they are have enough naman to support kasi di nakadilasal naman yung mga anak nila, so financially they are stable naman.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, Sister Mariam. I would like again bring back our viewers to the facts mentioned on this case as well as the issues. What about the rulings of the court on their case, Sister Mariam?
Yeah,
So
this
to
is
whose
this what I
custody was
said.
it given?
As what I said, sister, the ruling of the court should be both of them has the right to have a custody. Kasi sometimes, as what I said, sometimes the husband is not here in the Philippines and they are working or having business abroad, and the wife is here is working. So both of them has the capacity, even though that the many alleged issue about Sabrina, but in the court both of them has qualified to have the custody. So mag-share na lang sila ng time. If ever that the husband is not here in the Philippines, as what I said, Sabrina will take over the children, sister.
Okay, can we give an idea to our viewers, sister, on what particular age of the children that the custody be accorded to the mother? At what age? Could you please let's go to article number 78. Can you please read paragraph 1?
Yeah, in the care and custody of the children under Article 78, the care and custody of the children below 7 years old of age whose parents are divorced shall belong to a mother, or in the absence of maternal grandmother and the paternal grandmother, the sisters and auntie and their default, it shall devolve upon the father and nearest paternal relatives, the minor above 7 years old of age, but below the age of puberty may cause the parent with whom he wants to stay. So, sister, if you have children na 7 years below, so absolutely the court will give the custody to a mother. But since yung anak mo babae, if you have a daughter that having as a stage of puberty, absolutely it will be given to a mother or the auntie. But she has an option where he wants to go with.
Okay, so that option only happens on the last statement we have on this article, paragraph 1 of Article 78. The minor above 7 years old of age, but below the age of puberty, may choose the parent with whom he wants to stay. So I hope this is clear to our viewers that for the care, custody, and guardianship over the children really has provisions of which we can look into. In this case, Article 78, the care and custody, would like to read the care and custody of children below 7 years of age whose parents are divorced shall belong to the mother, or in her absence, for example, she's working abroad, in my opinion, or that upon her death, the custody would be given to the maternal grandmother, the paternal grandmother, the sister, and the aunt. So it's clear. But upon reaching this, what we call above 7 years old, the children are above 7 years old, but below the age of puberty, PD 1083, with this provision, gives the children the option to choose whom they would love to be with. Anything you can
Yes,
add,
sir.
sister?
Yeah, regarding with this issue about where they can go and ask a help for some cases, no, I would like to emphasize this to our viewer, the difference between the Sharia district court and Sharia circuit court. So we will see it where they can go on
Yes, that's
to
very
cover.
good. Thank you for emphasizing the that issue on where they would go to. For example, there is a they are planning for a petition for the custody over the children.
Yes, nawala yung copy ko for this. But
Okay, this is
uh
Article 155.
yeah,
Which court? We have two courts. One is the Sharia District Court and the
okay.
Sharia Circuit
Uh,
Courts.
yes, I would like to emphasize to our viewers that we have two different court here in the Philippines. The one is Sharia District Court, that is the jurisdictions over this are cases like for example, if you have cases saan ka tatakbo, if you have problem with the custody of the children, guardianship, legitimacy, paternity, and filiation arising under this code, no? And uh, and some of these customary contract parties of the Muslims will be given and jurisdictions of the Sharia district court. And this Sharia district court will be
Is it
located
Sharia
at
District Court,
stated
sister, or Sharia Circuit Court? Especially for the
district
customary, I
court.
mean the petition for support. May we give
Yes,
the focus on paragraph paragraph F of Article 155?
yes, we will be focused on the Article 155, sister.
Okay, please.
For this instance, Sister Linida, for the Article 55 for the Sharia circuit,
155?
yeah,
Yes.
Sharia circuit court, they can cater the marriage, divorce, recognizing under this code, betrothal or breach of contract to marry, customary dower, disposition and distribution of property upon divorce, maintenance and support, and consolatory gift, mutta, and the restitution of marital rights, and the communal properties like ancestor, artifacts, cemetery, all this will be under the Sharia circuit court,
Yes.
sisters.
For those of our viewers who have already this plan to raise the case or issue to the court, we would like to remind you that the court, the Sharia Circuit Court, has the jurisdiction over the petition that you are aiming for, especially with regards to the support. And this is found on paragraph F of Article 155, the jurisdiction. Okay, since we don't have enough time, Sister Mariam, um, Alhamdulillah, we hope that our viewers have even a, let's say, 80% of idea of what we have been discussing here. Can you please give us the, again, the, what we were discussing at first?
Yes, regarding with this case of Sabrina Bundaji, no, the court granted the decision. The Proc number 1396 hereby set aside the petitioner Sabrina Arcadi Bundaji shall have a custody over minors Abdulaziz and Emoaji until the children reach the majority age. Both spouse shall be joint responsibility over all expense relating to the children. And of course, since the children are so minor pa, the father Fauzi Ali Bundaji shall have visitorial rights at least once a week and may take the children out only when written consent of the mother. That is the
Yeah.
story of the Bundaji. That's
Okay.
what I
So
said. That
thank
since
you for
the
that, Sister.
husband is not here, I repeat, no, he has authority to visit the children. Instead na daming speculation, daming Hershey sa side ni Sabrina, but still she's a mother.
Yes, Alhamdulillah for your sharing, Sister Mariam. And again, we'd like to give an overview, or I mean the what we have been discussing here to our viewers. And at first, we were Sister Mariam gave us the case of Fosi Ali Bundaji, and then we have also discussed that the applicability of the PD 1083 to their case, of which on the petition of the custody and the guardianship of the children. And specifically, we were identifying the provisions under the book 2 on the support. We were tackling about Article 65, the definition of the support, Article 66, the amount to be given, Article 69, the payment, and of course, on Article 70, when or this is the on the extinguishment of support. Further, we also discuss about the nature and effects of this parental authority. So we have read over the Article 71 who exercise. Of course, this has been a bit skipped. And for Article 76, parental authority, that is not transferable, but of course there is what we call some provisions that it will happen that can be transferred to what the court decide to. And on Article 77 also, this is distinguishment of parental authority. And lastly, we were discussing about the custody of the guardianship. And these are in the two paragraphs of our Article 78 and 79. So we hope our dear viewers, you have an idea on what are these provisions from our PD 1083 that governs the case of Fozi Ali Bundaji and his wife Sabrina. And inshallah, uh, maybe we can have another time to discuss further on another case also together with my beautiful sister Mariam of Bacolod, and to give us more insights, or that our Balik Islam, particularly the Balik Islam, will be educated on the laws of our Muslim law, or the Muslim Personal Code, as well as the Civil Code. Any parting words from you, Sister Mariam?
Yeah, to our viewers, to our sisters that have questions regarding our Batas at Sharia or the legal matters, kindly send us a message. And please, to the viewers, please like and subscribe and share this channel.
Yes, particularly this program of Batas at Sharia. Like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, be it non-Muslim. They might have friends who are Muslims who are undergoing such issues. And we would like to invite also our viewer sister with regards to our program, the dear sister Khadija. Could you please invite them to our program?
Yeah, with our dear sister Khadija, that is live every Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. in the afternoon. No, if you have some question, mga sisters, don't hesitate to send us a message so that we can see and view your questions, and we can talk about that with our legal lawyer.
Okay, to that end, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Yes.
wabarakatuh. Till next episode.
Yes. And then I would like to say hi to my husband. Is watching now from Egypt.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, brother.
Yes.